Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So as you all know that we are having Aspire for Agriculture test series. Aspire for Agriculture test series. So we are going to discuss the copy of test 3 today, in which we have covered ecology, weed science and horticulture. So we will see what questions were asked in test 3 and how student has approached this question. So we will discuss test 3 into two sections, section A and section B. So today we will be discussing the section A of test 3, and in tomorrow's video we will discuss the section B of test 3. So you all know the same pattern is been followed, which is been followed in the UPSC exam, that is out of 8 questions, 4 questions in section A, 4 questions in section B. Totally we have to write 5 questions. You all know it. So let's see what were the questions asked and how the student has approached the answer. And by analyzing these types of copies, it can be also helpful to you. You can see how to introduce certain questions, how to conclude, how to structure your answer, what things to write in body. So all these things can be very helpful in your answer writing journey. So let's start. The first question asked was, enlist various perennial weeds found in Indian subcontinent and suggest measures to control them. So obviously in the introduction you can write something about weeds, but you can see the student has written too much, around 2 paragraphs about weed only. So that should be kept brief. Examples are well written, so that is good. These are some of the perennial uh, weeds found in our continent, or you can say in our Indian subcontinent. So well written answer. Now, how can we control them has been mentioned. First of all, we can do puddling, we can do deep tillage. So I will be just discussing all the things in brief, because discussing the answers line by line will be very bulky and very difficult, and it will take a lot of time. So I will be discussing the important points. You can simply pause and read the answers if you want to read all answers. So simply pause and read it. So puddling, deep tillage, mulching can be done. Clean cultivation practices can be adopted. But what you could be done here, suppose you have written clean cultivation practices. So you could have given some examples to how to maintain these clean cultivation practices, how to maintain this hygiene, so that would have enhanced your answer. Integrated weed management can be done. Behu sowing in rice can be done. So all these things are done to control the perennial weeds. And again, well concluded. This is a good conclusion. You can simply pause and read it. Now let's move to the next question. So the next question is, discuss the benefits and losses due to weeds. So obviously, we are seeing a lot of questions about weeds, because section A is fully dedicated to weeds only. Okay, only 2 sections are covered in this test. That is why there are a lot of questions about weeds. You will see in section B a lot of questions about horticulture. So again, the student has defined weeds in the introduction, so that is good only. And I think some mention of Atharvaveda has been mentioned. Okay, how the mention of some weeds in Atharvaveda, that is highlighted, so that is good. That is how student is integrating his historical knowledge in agriculture. So those things, as we see in UPSC exams, that integrating things can be very helpful. You can see how student has integrated it. That looks good also. Now we'll see benefits of weeds, obviously, as food and fodder. They can be used in lawn, making gardens and other things, used as medicine. Examples have been mentioned how these weeds are used in different medicine. You can simply pause and read it. And other uses have been mentioned. You can simply pause and read it. They can be used in mulch. Economical aspects have been given. But there are certain various losses due to weeds, and I think you all know it. Reduce crop growth, kills plants, allelopathic effect is there, harbors insect and diseases. So these are some of the losses, important losses. You can simply pause and read it. Decreases biodiversity, decreases BOD, it is biological oxygen demand. So all these things, but you can see the student has written too much for a 10 marker. Whenever you write a 10 marker, that is 2 pages is enough and around 150 words. And whenever you write 20 marker for agriculture optional, I think 3 to 3.5 pages are enough, and that is around 250 to 300 words. That would be enough, because you have to complete the answers in time also. If you're writing too much in your answer, there will be not that much time left for you to complete all the answers with such that effort. So that is why keeping time in mind is very important, and stick to the word limits. Now next question is, differentiate between relative weed and obnoxious weeds. So what relative weeds are? Which are out of place, not desirable in a particular place but possess some economic value. Okay, relative weeds are suppose there is one rice crop. This rice crop has some value, but this rice crop has grown in wheat crop now. Just I'm giving an example, and here it is affecting the wheat crop. So this rice crop is acting as a weed in wheat crop. Or you can best example in wheat crop could be oats. This oats crop acts as a weed in wheat crop, but it has some economical value. So that is what relative weed is. And whereas obnoxious weed that is only harmful, such as Phalaris minor in wheat crop, is having no economical value. So that is what obnoxious weeds are. Now different points have been mentioned. You can simply pause and read it. In difference, you can either use this approach, but I will suggest to go for table approach. I will not say that this is wrong, but that is more feasible, I will say. So you can go for both the approaches as per you, but I will suggest this approach, that this looks more feasible. Examples have been mentioned to good written answer. So the next question is, write a note on integrated weed management. So we all know what integrated weed management is. That is combining various components in weed management. Either it could be biological, either it could be mechanical, either it could be chemical, either it could be other things, physical. So cultural, obviously cultural methods. So when we combine all these things of weed management into one integrated thing, that is what integrated weed management is. First of all, cultural weed management have been highlighted. What can be done here? We can do plowing, we can do solarization. So we all know it. You can simply pause and read it. Examples have been mentioned. Now physical or mechanical method has been mentioned, such as use of motor, weavers, weeders, other things. Puddling can be also added here. So well written answer. Biological methods have been used, that is use of other organisms such as bioherbicides. Natural enemies can be used. Examples have been mentioned. Chemical methods have been mentioned, that is use of weedicides or herbicides. So well written answer. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, what is herbigation? Discuss its advantages. So what herbigation is? The name only suggests herbicides plus irrigation. So when herbicides are injected to our field, or you can say when herbicides are used in our field with the use of irrigation water. So what we will do, we will inject, we will put some herbicides, dissolvable herbicides or soluble herbicides in the irrigation tank only, and with irrigation water these herbicides will be applied to different parts of field. So this is what herbigation is. And so its advantages have to be mentioned. So here we have precise use of herbicides, cost effective, less impact on environment, doesn't depend on water weather condition. So these are some of the advantages. So well, you can answer. You can simply pause and read it. Now let's move to the next question. The student has attempted question number 3. So the first question of question number 3 is, what is herbicide resistance, and discuss its types and factors affecting it. So what herbicide resistance is? Oh, you all know that the herbicide which you used to kill that weed previously is not able to being to kill it. Okay, the herbicides which were able to kill, suppose there is a weed A, and the herbicides are able to kill this weed A, but now this weed A has developed some resistance, and this herbicide is not able to kill this weed A. This is what herbicide resistance is. Types and factors affecting it. So types have been mentioned: single herbicide resistance, cross resistance have been mentioned. So single is that when there is resistance to some single kind of herbicides, one sort of chemicals. Cross is that again two or more chemicals or two or more herbicides resistance is against them. Multiple resistance is them two or more herbicides with different mechanism. Here two or more herbicides with same mechanism or similar mode of action, but here with different mechanism. So the toughest, or you can say the greater level of resistance is multiple resistance. Factors have been also mentioned why there is chances of herbicide resistance. Obviously overuse of herbicides, lesser dose of application, agronomic practices. What's lesser dose of application means? You also see in medicine only. Suppose there is dose of 5 days and we take 2 days, we see that we are good only, and we now leave the 3 extra doses. So what happens? These 2 doses do not call the 100% of, do not destroy the 100% of herb. Suppose there 1% is remaining also, this will develop resistance, and its progenies will be with resistance. So that is why applying in the dose, recommended dose, is also important. herbicide characteristics have been mentioned, weed characteristics have been mentioned. Obviously, all these things depend on it, environmental condition, herbicide mixtures. So well written answer and well concluded. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is what is persistence of weeds and discuss their factors affecting it. So what persistence is, that is persistence of organism can be referred to as repeated invasion of the organism into a particular habitat or environment even when it is apparently removed through various measures. That is, suppose there is a field and there are some weeds, it is removed, but these weeds start growing repeatedly on this field, so that is known as persistence of weeds. Now factors affecting have been mentioned such as prolific seed generation. Some many weeds have lot of seeds generated. So you can see 1 lakh 90 around 2 lakh seeds per plant from Amaranthus. So that is what prolific seed generation is. Viable seed production, dormancy can be a reason. Some seeds are dormant under the ground and we don't see it, but later they grow as weeds. Vegetative propagation of some weeds are there. Rapid dispersal weeds, we can see they grow very fast, they generate seeds very fast, and the seeds are dispersed very fast also. Inherent hardening. So these are some of the good points. You can simply pause and read it. Self regeneration, evasiveness, selection, invention. So well written points. Weed succession. Let's move to the next question. Next question is discuss the importance of plant quarantine during imports in weed control. So we all know that quarantine has been a good word since COVID, but it was done before also. Plant quarantine is done lot of years before, and whenever there is movement of plants from one country to another, we tend to quarantine it, because with plants there could be some new disease entering your country, some new weed seeds entering your country. To avoid them, we quarantine the plants during import export. So its importance have been mentioned. It bans entry of invasive weeds, which I have just discussed. Herbicide resistance, it lowers the herbicide use. Okay, obviously if weed species are banned, they are avoided, then obviously herbicide use will be reduced. So good written points, you can simply pause and read it. To safeguard crop diversity, as some alien species come to a biodiversity, that could be prevented. Weed species, all these things are well written, mentioned. So I think a good written answer. So this was the section A, and in the next video we will discuss the section B of this test only, that is test 3. We have discussed till test 2 in previous videos, and today we are discussing test 3. So that was all for today. I hope you understand all the questions. You have paused at different intervals and read the answers, so that could be very helpful to you. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis, bring such tests for you on affordable costs. So if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.